Hi guys. Well, first off, I hope your family and yourself are all nice and safe. It's hard times at the minute staying in the house, day in, day out, just nipping out for a walk, perhaps if it's safe enough to do so. But as long as we do as we're told, I'm sure we'll all get by, get through this, and then we can get outside and get photographing stuff again. I'm really missing it, I'm sure everyone is, but we've just got to do our bit, keep the family safe, and good times will soon be back. Right, kit list. I've been asked by quite a few people just to do a basic what's in my bag video, so here we go, let's get into my bag. First off, I've got two 1DXs, as you probably know. Best body you can ever have, really, in my opinion. There's nothing you can't do on it. I'm not going to go into all the details because all you guys know what these are great at. I love the ISO range on it. Dark games, dark matches with poor floodlights, these handle it really well. So you've got two of them. They're only Mark 1s, but they do for me for now. I was going to get a Mark 2 just to add to my armoury, but I'm going to obviously leave that for a bit now, see what the summer brings, get a Mark 2, and then I can have 70 to 200. That goes on the 400, as you know, and then I can have probably another one of these 1DXs behind the goal, just to get a few more frames per second in than the 7D. I'm currently filming on the 7D, by the way, so hopefully that looks all right. But yeah, at the minute I've got the 7D behind the goal on the widey, which it's only got about, I think it's 6-7 frames per second, so I have missed a few goals before. You know, you get the ball coming into the net and then the next frame the ball's bounced away from the net, whereas when I've put one of these behind the goal before, you can track the ball coming in and exploding into the net. And these are, you know, obviously these are 12 frames per second, so hopefully by summer I'll have 3 1DXs. Right, like I said, 7D I'm currently filming on. It is a good bit of kit, but I sometimes struggle with the ISOs under poor floodlights, you know, unlike the 1DXs. But for a widey, down by my feet sometimes with a wide lens on, it's great for that. During the day, I say low light, it does struggle a bit, but hopefully I can replace the 7D which goes behind the goal with one of my Mark 1 1DXs, get a Mark 2, and then that will go by my feet all through the games, all through the matches on a widey, just in case I get any celebrations, you know, coming over the top of the digital boards. I know I've got that. Swing the 1DX down, grab the 7D with the widey on and snap away. Or it's also great for putting starburst lenses on, starburst filters on the lens, just for that little bit of a spectacle of a wide angle frame during the game. You know, if you've got floodlight, if you're on a floodlit game, an evening game, it's great for that. So yeah, 7D's brilliant, not really let me down. When the 1DXs got wet back in January, I think it was, obviously sent them both away, and one took a bit longer to get repaired than the other, and the 7D did go on the 400. Did struggle a little bit under low light again, but I'm happy with it. It's a great body overall. Days like today where it's nice and sunny, you know, there's nothing wrong with the 7D at all. So yeah, that's my third body, 7D, which is filming me right now on the Neewer tripod that I put in a video a couple of weeks back that I usually use for my remote tripod. So that's currently on that setup at the minute. So that's my third body. Right, 400 will be lost without this for obvious reasons. Far end goals, action all through the middle of the park. It's great for cricket. I'll come into these in a minute, but you know, 1.4 converter, 2 times converter on this for cricket. Fantastic frames. So it's an old Mark 1 now, but it still does me well. Second lens I wouldn't be without, 70 to 200 2.8. It's a heavy piece of kit, but I can put up with that in my bag because it gives some fantastic results. The depth that you can get on these are brilliant. Obviously it's for my close range stuff, when the players are running towards me, or use it for landscapes, you know, whatever really. Again, you can put 1.4 on, you can just about get away with a 2, but yeah, would be lost without that. 70 to 200 2.8. Right, something a bit different. I do a little bit of product photography, and recently just got this lens, 100 2.8 macro. Got it second hand actually from MPB. Well chuffed with it. The results you can get on this, obviously for food photography, product photography, the depths you can get with this is phenomenal. So yeah, that's a great piece of kit. 100mm fixed, 2.8 macro. Brilliant lens. Right, I got this little tiddler. Don't use it much, mainly when I'm shooting rugby. It's a 28-105, and because the rugby try line is quite a few yards from where we can position our remotes, I pop that on and put it to about 70mm, something like that, and it just gets a nice area of where the corner flag is. Just if you get any tries on the remote, you can capture the tries, you know, coming towards the remote. So yeah, don't use it much. It's only a cheap and cheerful lens. Say 28-105, but I don't know how much it was, about 80 quid, something like that. But it's ideal, and it's one that I always keep it in my bag, especially when I go to rugby. Yeah, brilliant lens. Right, converters. Obviously I've got two, ×2, ×1.4. Mainly come out. I might whack that onto the 400 for the last 5-10 minutes of a game if I know that the manager's going to be reacting and I'm sat far side of the pitch. That's great. You can get right into the dugout and get the managers. Highly recommend the ×2. It always stays in my bag, especially for the football season. If you are a bit closer, obviously 1.4 is just as good. Great lens. Sometimes pop that on the 70-200 if I need to, if I'm out and about just for a walk or something, or doing a bit of landscapes or wildlife and I don't want to take the 400, I'll just pop the 1.4 in. That's excellent piece of kit. So that's ×2, 1.4. Right, talking about the 7D and the remotes, Pocket Wizards. I've got 3, and as you've seen in the video 3 or 4 weeks ago, 2 of them have still got broken feet. So I'm down to 1, so obviously that one is my transmitter. That'll go on the 70-200, and then that one will go on the remote. And when that did have a foot on it, I've got to get it repaired. I put that on the 400 so that if I was shooting a player taking a shot outside the box and I'm still on the 400, I know that when I trigger it will still trigger the remote. So 3 of them, great pieces of kit, and I also use them for remote flashes and things like that. I'll go into that next. 580EX, it's a Mark 1, but so along with that and the shoe, the foot that goes on the bottom, got this handy piece of kit. It's just obviously for the remote flash, so obviously goes on the hot shoe. Pocket Wizard on there, Pocket Wizard on whichever camera I'm shooting on. Lay that down wherever you want, you know, and you've got a remote flash. But it's good enough for me. It is an old one now, but don't really use flash photography that much. Perhaps if a player was injured after a night game and you wanted to go back outside and get him hobbling back onto the coach or something, you'd whack the flash on. I ought to do more flash photography really, and it's something that I must get into. But yeah, so 580EX. Monopod. Be lost without that on the 400 as well, crikey. So it's a P326. Now I think it's a Siri. I'll put a link in the description anyway. But it's lovely and light piece of kit. Just twist and lock. Brilliant piece of kit. You've got your prime at the bottom as well that you can wind in and out. And now I don't know if some of you have noticed, when I'm wiring off the back of the camera, I've got this bit of Velcro, so the Ethernet will come off the body, and then I just put it onto the Velcro, and then it just comes neatly down and away from me on the Monopod. So yeah, got that, but it's fully carbon. You've obviously got your adjustable top that you can turn around for different thread sizes. So yeah, that's I think it's a Siri P326. I'll put that in the link anyway. Card readers, Lexar card reader. I've got about 3 of these just in case. You never know. Sometimes the pins do move a bit inside them. So yeah, I've got 3 Lexar card readers for when I'm not remote editing and I have to edit myself, obviously. Brilliant, they're ever so quick. So yeah, Lexar card reader. Right, nearly forgot this. The WFT transmitter. I included this in a video, I don't know, a month ago now, about when I'm on remotes and I'm not wired in. I'll usually have my 70-200 with that on, and then my 400 will be obviously wired up, and then I can send off each camera then. So yeah, that's a WFT, what is it, an E6B, WFT E6B. I'll put a link in the description anyway. Yeah, vital piece of kit for sports job, or if you want to send out remotely. I just link up to my phone, which I class as a dongle. I've got another dongle here that can, we'll look at that in a minute. So as long as you can link up to a Wi-Fi, brilliant piece of kit that. Yeah, my Huawei 5200. It's a great dongle. It's also a power pack as well. Let's just open it up. You've got USB, which you can charge your phone with, or any USB device. You can also plug that into your Ethernet port. I'll show you in a minute. I've got a connector for my Ethernet, so I've got two 30-meter cables, so I can always use a cable. But if for some reason you can't, you can plug that into your cable, and then you can use the remote. So you can use the WFT, link it to that, which links to the ground's Wi-Fi through the Ethernet port, which is great. So yeah, you got that. You can put any different SIM card in you want. So great piece of kit that. And I say you can charge your phone 2 or 3 times on it. So I've got that, and I've also got just a bog standard memory bank as well, memory block. So with them two, I know my phone's never going to go flat, and that's just great. If my Vodafone SIM doesn't work very well, I've got an EE SIM in here, so I know that I've got 2 options. I've also got an O2 SIM card that I keep topped up, so I can put any SIM card in here, and you always know nearly 99% of the time you're going to be able to get out all right. So that's the Huawei 5200. Filters. I don't use a lot of filters. Mainly, you saw me a couple of weeks ago in the video when I was, well, it was last week actually, when I was down on the seafront, just trying to keep myself busy. 10-stop filter. It's by Zomi. I'll put a link in the description. I think that was about 30 quid, something like that. I really do need some gradient filters. Obviously this is just a standard black all the way through. I need some gradient filters for landscapes really. I think last week the frames that I got from the seafront would have been nice with a bit of a gradient on it. But anyway, so that's the Zomis, and then I've also got some starbursts, just for adding something a bit different at a game sometimes. Sometimes in the evening I'll put a starburst filter on the remote. I think you've got 2 bursts, 4 bursts, 8 bursts, as many as you want. But they're as cheap as chips off Amazon. I think they were about 20 quid for a pack of 4, something like that. But yeah, so I haven't got many filters, need to get some more really. But yeah, I reckon to use the Zomi filters. Right, another piece of kit that I'm sure you've seen videos. The old drone. It's only a DJI Spark. It's a baby of the DJI family really. Hopefully I'm going to be upgrading in the summer when we can get back out and about again, and I'll get a Pro, probably get a Mavic Pro. But yeah, that's what films all my drone stuff at the moment. It's got a 12 megapixel camera on it, so it's ideal really, and it does good stills as well. So yeah, that's the drone. One thing that I'm not sure if you've noticed, on all my bodies I've got these little PD quick release clips. They're brilliant. So probably most of you have got them, but they just pull on, and that's it. It's just brilliant because when I use my 400, I might be using this on the wide angle before the game. So obviously clip it in, and then it's around your neck. And then when I put this back onto the 400, sometimes straps get in the way, so just push and they quick release and they come off. So they're PDs. I'll put a link in the description anyway. Great piece of kit. These stay out of the way, so ideal them. Yeah, so that's what I have on my straps for quick release. What else have we got? Right, I've got my Joby, which at the moment has got my makeshift cutout for when I'm doing stuff with the iPhone 11. Because the iPhone 11, I've got a Pro Max. It's so good at filming. I've been doing quite a lot of my filming on the iPhone. So because I haven't got a GoPro yet. But another one of my items to put on a list. But yeah, so I used that. That obviously came with the case. That comes with the case. It's actually for a belt clip, but I just cut the back out of it, and then that just sits in like that. So that's ideal. I used this when I did Flying Scotsman. I put the 70-200 on this, and I clamped it round a fence post. And then obviously did some video on the 70-200 while I was flying the drone. So great piece of kit these are. If you can't put anything too heavy on it, obviously, because the legs spread. But good piece of kit. You can clamp it to anything really, wind it around stuff, and that's what I use when I'm filming on the camera, on the phone. Sorry. A very well worn eye cap. So obviously when I'm sending off the laptop at games or at any event, if I'm not remote and it's forecast to rain, I've got the old eye cap. I'm sure you've seen them. This has seen better days obviously. But so that's my eye cap. Just keeps everything dry in there. Keep your chamois in there if it's raining and all that lot. So yeah, and your dongles and stuff can all go in there. And then that, I'm not going to attempt it now, getting it folded back up again into a little nice circle. I'll try that in a minute when we're not on camera. It takes a bit of getting used to. So that's that. Got my little bits and bobs bag. What we got in here? Got my joiner for the Ethernets if I'm sat a long way from the ports and I want to use my second 30-meter cable. Just join them up with that. Obviously Thunderbolt 2 jack connector if I want to put the headphones into my phone. Various spare leads, jack leads, all sorts of leads in here. Spare leads for the card readers. Various screwdrivers, just in case I ever need to tighten anything up. I've got a problem at the minute with my 400. The collar keeps coming loose, so just got a Phillips just to keep that tightened up. Little brush, just for getting any dust off any of the lenses. What else we've got in here? Yeah, Allen keys, all sorts really, just basic tools that I might need out and about, you know. So yeah, that goes in my rucksack, a little handy bag. For them bright days, these are handy. Now, a chap called Griff Gear, I think he was in Australia or New Zealand, he developed these, but I think he's disappeared now because no one can seem to buy them. But this is a great piece of kit. Just folds over the back of the laptop, just as a nice sunshade. You can get your face right up to it. You can get rid of all the bright light, and you can get your colours right then. Yeah, it's a Griff Gear, but I don't think he's about anymore. But I've seen lads make them. But it's just a handy piece of kit, that is, if ever during the summer months. Laptop, 13-inch MacBook Pro, great piece of kit. I don't know if the Velcro, it's so that I can stick, and this one hasn't got Velcro on at the minute, but this is one of my spares, but I always stick my card reader onto there, and then usually sometimes put a second one there, or if I've got this in my eye cap, in the waterproof eye cap, I'll just pop it in the bottom. So I've got Velcro on the bottom as well. So yeah, the Lexar sticks on there. So yeah, that's the MacBook Pro. Hard drives. I use these Sonics hard drives. What they do them in all various sizes. These are, I say these nearly all 1 terabyte. I think they're about £40 off eBay. I'll put a link in the description. I think they do from 150 gig upwards, I think, but yeah, I'll put them in the description below. Something else that's obviously really important, the old Minimax stool. I featured it in a video 2 or 3 weeks ago. I did approach the chap that owns these, that produces these, to see if he could give me any sort of discount code, but unfortunately he wasn't interested, so I didn't really be pushing it, but I'll just show everyone what I use. So Minimax stool, brilliant piece of kit. I think this will be season number 4 that I've had this, and I'm quite a hefty lad. I've even stood on this before at full range. I've stood on it at that height before. It's ever so strong. Really, I really believe in these. And you know, some digital boards are quite low, so you can lower it down. Such places as Twickenham, where the digital boards have been really high in the past, because the pitch slopes down, you can have it at full range. So yeah, Minimax stool, you can get them off eBay. I'll put a link in the description. So they fold down to nothing, slides in my roller case at the front. It's got your handy strap, put around your neck if you load it up. Yeah, Minimax stool. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see this tripod. Again, it's nothing special, don't use a tripod much. This is from Calumet. I think they're based in Nottingham. I think it's about 40 quid, but again, it's only cheap and cheerful, but it does me. Plenty of adjustments on it. You've got 3 settings there that you can. Great setting 1, 2, and then 3, so that's good. And I got this off eBay. Again, it's nothing special, but it does for me. It's only a cheap gimbal, but it's ideal for cricket when you want your 400 up all day. So yeah, that's a great piece of kit. So just that gimbal. So all in all, it's about 70 quid's worth there, 80 quid's worth there. So, but I only really use it for cricket as a rule. So yeah, that usually gathers dust in here, I'm afraid. Cases wise, roller case. I've got a low pro, again it's seen better days now. But yeah, I use my low pro roller case. Lost the low pro badge in Italy last year. But yeah, it's seen better days now. So I put the Minimax stool in there, laptop in there if needed. It's got the lock on. And then some gear in here, look. And my cables, obviously 130 metre. I've also got a 5 metre. I've got another 30 metre that goes in there. Various rain covers. I've got a think tank cover for my 70 to 200. That's handy. I think that's about it in here. Not a lot else hiding in here. I've got it all out really. I've got a Canon Pro Services cover for my 400. In there, you never know when you need it. It's been so wet this season. Until now, yeah. So that's the low pro. Which model is it? Can't remember which model it is now. But I'll put it in the description anyway. And then, last but not least, rucksack wise, again it's by far new. It's seen better days this has, but it's done me proud. Low pro again. I think it's an all-weather pro. Let's have a look. It's a Photo Trekker all-weather 2. So again, it's seen better days now, but does me. And I've got the all-weather 2 comes with this extra pouch. That's got my other cable in it, thicker cable, plug, and it's got my waterproofs in there. So just keep that on there. Obviously you can take it off with a quick release. Laptop usually goes in the outer pocket there. I've got a lock because there's been quite a lot of stuff getting nicked lately, so which is a shame really. But yeah, I always got that locked. So if ever we nip off anywhere, I always lock the stuff to a table or whatever. And then various pouches, chamois. Always have loads of chamois in there. Spare strap if ever I need one. And then various bits for when I'm doing my pitch side filming, stuff like that. So again, all I've been usually using, I'll whip that off there and like put it on the plunger, you know, so you can plunge it to a digiboard. So yeah, loads of stuff. Spare hood for the widey. Oh, I'm talking a widey. The lens that's currently on there is a 17 to 40 f4. Swear by that kit. I've never actually had a 24 to 70. Just never really needed one, so I just use that. It's 17 to 40 f4. Great, lovely sharp lens, and that's what's currently filming us on the 7D. This is just, again, nothing special. A DAT kit, I think it's called, DAT kit, and that's where my drone lives. So got this off Amazon. So yeah, handy piece of kit. Drone fits in there. Just the job. So I got all my various filters and bits and bobs in there. Remote, everything. So yeah, that's what the drone lives in. So I'll put that in the link as well. Oh, one other thing. I mainly use this for my product photography. But just a reflector. That's all really. That's handy to have in the bag. But again, that's for when I'm doing my product photography really. So what with that and the 580EX flash on the remote, get some lovely frames. That's about the lot, guys, really. So that's basically my kit that I take out with me. I take it all with me. You just never know what you're going to get with these sports events. So that all comes with me. So I've got my roller case and my rucksack. And yeah, job's a good one. So hope that's given you a bit of an insight into my kit list. And roll on being able to go outside and do some snaps again. But like I said at the start of the video, keep your families and yourself safe, guys. It'll soon be over. You can go through archives like I've been doing, make a few videos. You could even knock up an album of last year's holiday or something, you know. Plenty to do with art. We've all got files and files of films, so files and files of images. So yeah, just go through your archives and stuff. But overall, keep safe, keep your family safe. Thanks for watching, guys. It'd be great if you could give it a thumbs up. Awesome if you could hit that subscribe button. Keep safe, catch up soon.